All right. Oh, it's going wrong. We're still trying to figure this out. Uh-oh. Oh, it's going wrong. Hold on a sec. We're on YouTube at the same time. There we go. That's better. That's better.
All right.
So, welcome to the show, everyone. You can tell that we're on YouTube at the same time. There we go. That's better. Okay.
So, are you getting feedback?
I'm getting feedback. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Hold on a sec.
Oh, do you maybe have your channel open?
I'm getting feedback. No. It's weird. Hold on.
Do you maybe have your channel open?
No, it's okay. I had two channels open. There we go.
Okay.
All right. Note to self: always close your channels when we want to start. So,
all good.
Well, welcome everyone to the show today. This is just meant to be a real quick Champions League preview for the games on Tuesday and Wednesday. I have a good friend, mate, Vader Games, on the channel here with us today. Patrick couldn't join us today. He has work. A man's got to eat, so a man's got to work. It's about our lunchtime here in the East Coast of the United States and Canada, so we have some time to go through and do what we love to do as a hobby. So those out there, welcome to the show. We may have some more people joining us as the show goes on. But how are you doing, Vader? How's it going? How's the weekend going? Did you wake up this morning with a buzz?
Hey, I woke up this morning feeling real good because that game on Sunday, man. It was the game started at 9:00 out here in Toronto, so I started my day with a win. The rest of it was great vibes, family, and a week after a win, it just Mondays feel so much better. So I'm good. How about you?
I'm good, man. I had a busy weekend. I coached. I had like 2 games this weekend. And I'll say this. I mean, so we watch a lot of the games we talked about before the show started. That I'm learning a lot from Pep and from Arteta. I'm learning about how to motivate, players, what to say to them. That was halftime talk, right? So one of the things that always surprised me was the halftime talk for both Pep and Arteta is like 30 seconds. They don't spend more than 30 seconds about what they want to do, what needs to be done, and they walk away, right? And I'm implementing that into my own rhythm, and it's actually helping the kids grow. So we had 2 games. One, we were 3-0 down in the first 10 minutes because the kids weren't playing to their level. We had halftime talk with them. We talked about and you encouraged them, talked about what they need to do, how to play better, and then we ended up winning 5-3.
Okay.
The second game, they won 7-2. And I told them about, when they were up by 5, just control the game. Just pass, move, control, recycle, use the keeper to play out, use the keeper to rebuild, swap the points of attack. All those things we see in the game, Vader.
Yeah.
What we saw, I saw yesterday from the kids. I was really pleased about how they performed. But we're all learning, we're implementing an off the game that we love. But the United game, man, just quickly, just to recap that game yesterday. Can you still believe it though? I mean, could you still believe what we saw yesterday? That first half?
That first half was more than anything I could have expected. Like there's no closing my eyes, daydreaming, thinking about that derby and to envision what they did. I was on cloud 9. I was ecstatic with the performance, and the thing that I'm trying to calm myself with is that the team is going to get better. Like there's no doubt that they are going to get better. As great as that performance was, they're still figuring each other out. 8 games into the season, man. Like it's scary what they can do.
I talked about it today with someone. I said that what we're seeing is the evolution of Erling Haaland.
Oh, 100%.
People talk about people talk about the fact that he can't cross, he can't pass, he can't build up, he can't run in behind. He had 35 touches yesterday, 2 assists. It's the evolution of Erling Haaland, what we call Erling Haaland 2.0.
Yeah,
and this is why he came to the club.
And I said something similar. I said, if pundits or us as fans and if rivals want to take a moment in time that is sometimes 2-3 years ago and want to label a player as this is what they can and cannot do based off of things that they did 3 years ago, you're always gonna come across like a fool, like a person that doesn't know. Because to your point, players evolve, and the young man is 22 years old. I can remember myself at 22. I didn't know anything. So he's only gonna get nicer, and he's gonna prove a lot of people that want to doubt him wrong.
Absolutely. And then, of course, Phil Foden. And after the narrative about Saka and with England and Southgate, and Foden scores 3 brilliant goals, by the way. Absolutely brilliant goals.
Yeah.
And just, finger to his mouth saying, hey, you guys be quiet. There's no complaint. The fact that England, unfortunately, have a terrible manager, in my opinion, isn't the fault of the players. Isn't
Exactly.
the fault of Ivan Toney, who can't get a game, who should be playing that game to see what it's like
Yeah.
with other players.
Yeah. I agree. If people want to judge Saka or Foden or Grealish or any English player based off of what they're doing for Southgate, it's not the right perspective, because it's not like something magical just happened with Foden for what he did on Sunday. That's always his ability, and it doesn't come through as it should when he plays for the international squad, because Southgate doesn't coach, he doesn't manage that way. That's not the type of things that he's pulling out of players. So doubt Foden again, but beautiful goals, and like Haaland, it was like great timing and great space that he occupied, and he put everything on net. He deserved that hat trick. It was beautiful.
Absolutely. We have a comment here from Jack Lee. Jack Lee says he looked in the bin and found Man United. He also says, welcome, Jack. He also says that he went to the butcher. He asked for Alessandro Martinez and said he was off sick. Yeah.
You know what? There's different types of butchers, right? There's like carcasses and big slabs of meat that butchers carve up and cut up, and then there's deli cutters and deli butchers. That was right. Martinez on Sunday. He was making deli sandwiches. That's the butcher that he was on Sunday.
Just wrapping up on this point. So I had a discussion yesterday with a friend of ours on the channel, Abdullah. He runs the Blue Studio, and this is a guy from Chelsea fans, right? Abdullah's a good guy. He's a smart guy. He's very objective. He has a great show, great panels. There's a guy on the show called Blue Eyes who says that Thiago Silva will look after Erling Haaland when Chelsea plays City. Now, I said, okay, that's your conviction, fine, but you want to tell me that a 37-year-old Thiago Silva will be able to mark Erling Haaland in a one-on-one battle?
Right.
I don't think Graham Potter's stupid enough to play him in that game.
He would be absolutely stupid to do that. If he decided to just isolate one center back to mark Haaland, he's going to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah. And he says, well, he'll play him offside. I'm like, have you watched Erling Haaland, what he does? Erling Haaland gives you 2 meters space behind you, right in front of you, right, because he knows he can beat you, even with that 2-meter gap. So you can't play him offside because he knows that he's quicker than you.
And you know what it also allows him to? It doesn't allow for the defender to grab onto him, because he's got that space, and if there is a little grab, he swim moves, he shucks them off. It's Haaland's he's a brilliant player at a young age, and all these claims that he's going to get pocketed and locked off and shut down. All right, talk a big game before it happens. We'll see what happens afterwards.
Yeah, last point on this. Jack says Akanji emptied his back pocket and found a key feeder called Rashford. Akanji, bro. I mean, any doubt? Did you have any doubts at the start that he was going to cook for us?
I didn't have any doubt that he would cook, but I did doubt how quick he was going to start cooking. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think he was going to arrive at the club and start cooking right away. I thought he would have take some time to find out where the pots and pans were, where the ingredients were. He didn't waste no time. He walked in that kitchen and knew where everything was. He's been phenomenal. He's been amazing, and instantaneous trust.
Absolutely.
Like that's what it is. Instantaneous trust. I'm excited for him in that rotation, because he's alleviated a lot of stress that we've had as fans, thinking that the depth wasn't there, and he's versatile.
He reminds me of a cousin who comes to my house and just starts to cook up a storm. I mean, really, like 5-star dish. And he knows where everything is. Just comes in, doesn't talk to me, just starts to put things together, and then voila, here you are. Here's your lunch, here's your dinner, and it's just as good as I would. That's
treats the kitchen like his own.
All right, so we're here to talk about Champions League this week, and we're just going to run through, and I'll share my screen so we can talk through just a couple of games. Let me make sure we have the right one. So let's go good. Just a couple of games, and I'll pull it up here. You see my screen? Let me know. I think you can see my screen. And we'll just go through a couple of these games, and then if there are comments out there, we'll share those comments and share the link, guys. Share the link out there, so we can have some more views and get your comments on the games. First game up tomorrow. Oh, here on the list here, Group A, Ajax Napoli. This game, Vader, I'm excited about this game. Because if you look at the group, I believe the group for both these teams, I believe Napoli are on top.
Yeah.
Liverpool and Rangers are at the bottom, and Napoli are leading by 3 points. And Napoli can afford to drop 3 points, and they'll still be equal with Ajax, at least in terms of points. But I think it's going to be a great game. I think this is one of the key matchups for Matchday 3 in the Champions League tomorrow. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a huge game, and I'm actually kind of torn because I'm trying to do the mental math here. And is it best to, because of my hatred for Liverpool, is the best for Napoli to win, so they are most likely to secure that top spot, and then it's a battle between Liverpool and Ajax, or should I be hoping for Ajax to score so that they have 6 as well, and then I'm trying to rack in my brain, but it's going to be it's a big match. Obviously, many eyes are going to be on it.
Right. I see what you
Liverpool
mean.
fans themselves. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that if Ajax wins, they're on 6 points.
Yeah.
And Liverpool wins, they're on 6 points. So everybody's on 6 points.
Yes.
Which means that, right? I would want Napoli to win. Okay. So even if Liverpool comes second, they have to play. They have to face a Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid or somebody else or a PSG in the next round.
Smart.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about the group stage because they'll probably get through the group stage. If they don't get through the group stage, then they go to Europa League. Then I don't know if Klopp can survive that. But if they come second, then they go to round of 16. They have to play Paris. They have to play Real Madrid. They have to play Bayern Munich. They have to play all these big teams out there.
That's true. That's a good point.
So let them come second. I don't want them to come first.
Yeah. So Napoli. I think Napoli winning tomorrow makes sense.
And who's Ajax are at home too, so that's complicated now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's complicated, man.
Yeah,
that is complicated. But Napoli,
you know what? Either way, Napoli is a very good side. I think they'll cause problems, and then obviously that Rangers and Liverpool. Are we just going to assume?
I mean, Liverpool should win that game. I mean, if they don't win that game, then they have some real problems. But Rangers are no mugs. I mean, they've had a bad first 2 games, but they kind of know how to step it up. But if Brighton can go to Anfield and get something,
great point.
Because if Rangers lose this game, I think they're out of it, man.
Yeah. They lose their game, they're definitely out. They're going to be bottom of that group. No, that's fair. So I think
I'm going to go with that. Napoli win 2-1.
Napoli 2-1. I see Liverpool winning as well. So yeah. Group A.
This next one, the Club Brugge versus Atletico. This is another. I don't know why UEFA plays all these games at once, because you would love to watch. You know how the Premier League, we watch one game after the other game after the other game. Like on a Saturday, you wake up in the morning. Here in the US, we have the luxury, right, of saying, okay, I'm going to work hard all week, take care of all my chores, all the kids' stuff is taken care of. I'm going to wake up at 7 in the morning. I'm going to watch the Premier League from 7 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Right? At least I have the luxury of doing that. And if I want to, I can also watch La Liga or any other league. So you get to see things back to back. I don't know why UEFA doesn't do this, man, because this is a great game to watch. Bruges versus Atleti is a great game to watch.
I'm with you 100%. The thing that's kind of it's great because typically, and this is like going back a couple years before lockdown and everything like that, but typically I'm in the office. I'm stuck in the office. There's no way I'm watching any games and having the chance, but being able to work remotely, that's been a bonus. But I agree with you. If you can have, let's say, all Group A matches happened, I mean it's our time, right? So let's say all Group A matches happened at 2, and then all Group B matches were just staggered, maybe even to be an hour and a half later, and you go so on, so that you do have a chance to maybe catch those matches. That'd be great. Everything at once makes it incredibly tough. And that's why most of us just end up watching extended highlights for some of these matches because
Exactly. And I think
you
it's also, if you think about revenue, the revenue model, right? If they did that, the revenues would probably quadruple. Because
yes,
now you get to see each game once, and the crowd is there. You get the crowd effect of the crowdfunding, the crowd effect of having people watch each single game. The ads can go through; they can make more revenue from that. Now, I'm going to pick one game. I'm going to watch the highlights of the other one. You don't get that level of
yeah.
viewership, if you would, of the game. So it's a problem
UEFA,
they have to solve. UEFA have to solve the problem.
UEFA, your bots, your listeners, whoever you have out there in the universe listening, follow Gundalorian, pitch points, because the man talks money, he thinks money. So these gems you need to be listening to and implement next season.
Yeah, we're consulting for free for UEFA, but I know it's a problem that they've tried to deal with, which is why this whole Super League thing is coming around too. Because the only spot for them to do that is the weekend,
Yeah.
right? Unless they say, okay, some Sundays in the week, there's going to be a revenue sharing formula between the Premier League and the local leagues and UEFA, where they allow us to play Champions League games on Sundays, and we go back to back to back to back from like 8 a.m. through like 5 p.m. Right?
Yeah.
That way you get
Yeah.
everything, and then share the revenue with the local leagues.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
You
fair.
know?
Even with their attempt on trying to have it midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't know logistically how possible it is, but if most of those that are competing in the Champions League could be devoted to strictly play on Sundays, then you
Yeah.
know it would
Yeah.
it would make things a little more manageable
Right.
amongst all the leagues because you know that they're playing on Sunday and Champions League will be on Wednesday, and you kind of have those set days. But hey, man, we're talking for free, but we should
Yeah,
be
we're
paid for
talking for
this.
free, but there are solutions where everybody makes money, and we get to see the games that we love, right? Such as Bruges Atleti. I think this one, I'm giving it to Bruges, man.
Yes,
Um,
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I
they
think
just play a
they
brand of football that's just really nice to watch.
aggressive, like brave.
Brave,
I
very
mean,
brave.
they're not perfect, they're not flawless, but
Mhm.
they take it, they bring it to you, and we've experienced that when they played against us just a season ago.
Absolutely.
Um, so yeah, I respect how they're playing, and they deserve to be top of that group. Winning their next match, I'm with it. I'd agree.
Yeah, right now, if they win the
Atletico,
next match, it's because it's a double header. So what happens in match day 3 and 4? It's a double header where you play the
yes,
same team twice within a week.
yeah, and
So
I hate Atletico, so I want them to slap. I
oh, yeah,
want them to slap
we
Atletico.
all do. Absolutely. Unless they're playing Liverpool, then we don't hate them so much.
True, true.
Um, Leverkusen Porto is the next one. That one, I think Porto have been really poor, man. Hey, really,
Disappointing.
yeah,
Oh, disappointing. I'm with you. I would actually think Leverkusen could win this one because I haven't seen anything consistent from Porto.
yeah, I
Not to
agree
be
with you.
disrespectful and say this is a throwaway game, but most of my eyes and attention would be on Bruges. But yeah, what do you think? Who do you think's winning
I think
this matchup?
Leverkusen goes. I think Leverkusen does it.
Yeah,
I like the way they press, the way they move the ball in transition, wide, central. They're athletic. They're good. Porto just are this season have been off.
mm,
I think they have some issues financially within the league.
yeah,
I just see it. They look at the table. I think Porto at the bottom of that table. Look at that, 0 points.
yeah.
Right, conceded 6, scored only one.
Oh, yikes! Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
scored
yeah.
only one.
Yeah, they're leaking
You know,
goals.
2 losses. And so if Leverkusen win this game, they get on 6 points, and all of a sudden Porto are out, and now it's Atleti who have to win against Bruges, which is going to be difficult. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
Atleti and Simeone is when you talk about uninventive, old school, no
yeah,
creativity. That's Simeone and his football. And honestly, there was a time where I was yelling, I was screaming, Yao Felix, get out of that club, come to
oh my
City.
goodness, man.
That
Oh man,
that windows closed, that door has closed because
closed, closed.
Holland and Alvarez are firmly comfortable feet on the couch. They're home at City.
Mhm.
Yao Felix is gonna have to find somewhere else to go, but his
Goodness me.
career and what it could have been had he been somewhere else, man.
I
Tragedy.
remember. I mean, Beta, I remember when Leo Sani was leaving 3 years ago. I kept screaming, right, top of my lungs, João Felix, come to City. You are the perfect replacement for this kid. You get better with Guardiola. Come to City. Come and play left side or right side. But money talks, and bad agent, and there he goes. Letty, and he's struggling. Poor kid.
Money, crazy long contract. Yeah,
Ridiculous.
not a good combination.
So yeah, so we think that Leverkusen and I think Bruges are going to do it because Atleti and Leverkusen are going to do it. And then it's the battle of the boring Madrid versus Porto. It's just basically it's a slugfest. I
Yeah,
mean, the last
I am
game.
not,
Oh,
Carl. I honestly could say I don't even think I'd watch the highlights.
oh, I didn't watch the last one. It was terrible.
So
I mean, it went to like 97 minutes because they had a red card. They had all issues. It was a slugfest. And Griezmann scores a last minute goal. Just horrible. But it's a type of football that some people like, So it is
do
what it
they
is.
though? I don't think in their heart. I don't think they like the football. I think they like the result. There's no way they like the football.
That's fair. That's a fair argument.
There's no way. It's like you know what? It's kind of like when you have those smoothies, like people put like just the foods together just because they want to consume it. You don't really enjoy that, but you get your nutrients. It's not enjoyable. That football, it gets result, but it's not enjoyable. Can't be.
We have Dudley. Dudley, hi, mate. How are you? This is one of your friends, Dudley Lewis.
Yo, Dudley in the building. Yeah, he supports the channel. Happy that you're over here, my guy.
Absolutely,
talking some
Dudley.
Champions League with
we're just going over just some games and chatting with Vader about what we think is going to happen Tuesday, Wednesday. We do this every Champions League game. Patrick can't be here today because he has work. We have a lunch break here in the US, so we're just doing this real quick. Let us know your thoughts around some of the results that we talk about. Looks like we have a guy from Bayern Munich also on the chat. He just has a laughing emoji talking about Bayern Munich. The next game, is there any point even talking about that? Is there any point talking about the next game, really? I mean, Victoria Pilsen against Bayern Munich?
Oh, the actual match? No, but that Group C is a dangerous group right now because there's a lot pending. There's a lot pending. But like you said, Bayern and BP, because I don't want to butcher their name, it's Bayern. Like I think every Bayern fan's probably super comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
And they get them twice. Right? So it's going to probably be 6 points, and so they're done.
Yeah, that's going to be long. Yeah. So they topped that group with 12.
But the next game, Inter versus this. Now this is the match of day 2. This is the match of Tuesday. It's Inter versus Barcelona, and this is. I mean, Inter had really bad form recently. But it's the Champions League. It's the odds favor Barcelona. You can see here the odds favor them.
Okay.
The head-to-head favors Barcelona 5-1 with 2 draws. The pre-match standings, Barcelona 1-1, lost 1, 1-1. So they won the last Champions League game against Pilsen, Victoria Pilsen. But this is going to be
a dangerous match. This is a dangerous one. This is one of the few that I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to, because I said this just last night. There's a lot of attention that needs to be paid on the result of this match because of Barcelona already suffering 1 loss. So if they don't get the right result here, it is going to create a lot of pressure for them on the next match, right?
Yeah.
And we've joked about this often, but and again, I agree with you in terms of the bravery that Barca did, in terms of the levers that they pulled, and kind of like putting all the money at the middle of the table. They're all in with this year to get back to winning ways. I think that there has to be a lot that's pending on some of the financials that you get for being further within this cup run.
Oh, there is.
Can Barca afford not to? Can Barca afford to drop to the Europa?
No, they cannot. They cannot afford not to get through. They can't. It's just financial suicide.
So Inter can play big spoiler with.
Inter can crush them if Inter win the next game and they win the game in Barcelona, which they can if they're on their game, just like what Frankfurt did. Then Barcelona have to play Bayern Munich and
Yeah.
Pilsen,
Yeah.
and then it's a slugfest. Don Smoke, welcome to the show. Welcome, brother.
How are you, Gundo?
I'm good, my guy. How are you? How's everything
I'm
going,
great.
man?
Don Smoke in the
Yeah,
building.
man.
See, I have some
Push
of the
along.
smartest people. I have some of the smartest people in the show. Right? I have Vader, and then I have a software engineer also here as well. I like software engineers because they solve problems. So
Thanks. Regarding Inter, right? Just go back quickly. The thing though, and I noticed it against Roma. I think Inter it's more almost like an identity crisis, right? Traditionally, Inter under Conte, they sat back, right, and absorbed pressure, and they were quite good at it. Then now, I think with the new manager, he's trying to be more progressive, right? So now it's that thing. Hence, the thing is, Inter would struggle against a low block, but now against the Barca, they will be confused of do we sit down and contain or do we push, right? Because Barca will also have the same problem. Barca also don't want to play a low block; they want an open game. But now, if you open the game, that plays to Barca's advantage with players such as Dembele and whatnot. And if you give these guys space, so it's a game whereby it could be a ping pong 3-2, 3-3, 4-3 kind of game
Okay.
regarding. So it'll be an interesting one I think based on how Inter sets up will dictate how the game goes.
yeah. Ihan says
fair.
I see a wash against Inter. It could happen, but at the same time too, Frankfurt, bullied Barcelona. Now they didn't have Lewandowski, of course, but now they have him. But it's a tough game for Barcelona. Make no mistake.
Mm-hmm.
This is a difficult game because Inter have not been doing well in the league, but in the Champions League they're not doing too badly. So this game is going to be absolutely huge. This is the game of Tuesday, or one of the games of Tuesday. Don't Smoke, who do you think wins this? Inter's at home.
Inter's at home. Inter's form is concerning because I watched Roma and the home advantage didn't really play a thing. Didn't really work for them. So it's more like I think Barca also have an injury crisis at the back, at the center back, right?
Who's injured for them? Who's injured for
I
them?
think it's Kunde and Aruejo.
Oh,
right?
that's right.
Which is two of their best defenders, literally.
Yeah,
right?
You're right. That's why he's got PK's playing, right? That's why.
Yeah. So it's that thing of as much as Dzeko is not quick, but he's very clinical, right? So I see a high scoring draw, or Barca might sneak in a 3-2, 3-2. There will be goals, right? Because they're both suspects. So I see a high scoring draw, or Barca could win 4-3.
Just looking at the record here, Veda, looks like Inter have never won against Barcelona.
Oh no!
Yeah, look at that.
I hate seeing that. Damn
1-1, 2-1. But this was the old Barcelona, not the new Barcelona, right? So maybe there's a, 2019, and 2018. So
that's Messi Barca. They're not the
They had
same.
Messi. They had Messi at the time.
Yeah, that Messi. I'm going Inter for this one, man. I'm going Inter.
I'm with you. I want that. I want that. I want that. Don Smoke knows why I want that too, because that's going to make for some entertaining evenings.
Let's talk about Group B Tuesday. I'm going to start with the other game. So Eintracht Frankfurt, Tottenham, and Hotspur. I want to see this game because Eintracht plays a counter-attacking football, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So do Tottenham. And so what happens here? What does Conte do here? Don't Smoke and Vader. What does he do?
Conte doesn't change a damn thing. He's not going to change a damn thing.
This is why Conte has never been good in Europe, right? Because the thing is this, right? Normally, when you're playing teams that are predominantly big, the inferior team will give you the ball, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, Conte at Inter. If Inter goes into the Champions League, right, the opposition normally would give you the ball, like, okay, let's see what you can do, and we will try to play on the counter. Whereby Conte's teams are not really good at breaking down teams, right? So it's that they're very good in transition. Almost all his teams, they're very effective in transition. And you saw this against Sporting, right? Where when Tottenham went to Sporting gave them the ball. It's like, okay, there's the ball. Show us what you could do. and
Yeah.
Tottenham suffered.
Yeah.
They were very mediocre, and I see the same thing happening, whereby Tottenham, unless they play, Tottenham have a better chance winning against a Marseille, because Marseille will want to play soccer or football, right? Whereas your Frankfurt and your Sporting, they're like, okay, have the ball and show us. So I wouldn't be surprised if Frankfurt win.
Neither will I.
Me
Seriously.
neither.
But again, I'm going to go with a Frankfurt win. I want to see how the table kind of gets confused because if Frankfurt win, all of a sudden Frankfurt are second, Tottenham are third. Now the question now is when they get back to even if they win the return leg, it's still going to be equal points, right? Because it's going to be 6.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Tottenham have to play Marseille and Sporting, and then so now the whole thing now gets up in the air. Who comes first and who comes second? Because I want all these guys out in the round of 16. Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea, all out round of 16.
That's
Especially
cutthroat.
Tottenham. I don't want
cutthroat.
to be playing.
Yeah. So yeah, the other game is Marseille Sporting. I think Sporting do this again.
Yeah.
I think they're just too good, too consistent. They're a good team.
Yeah, I give the slight edge to Sporting, quality wise and even for how they've been playing. I think it goes to them, and they're gonna continue to control this group because they're leading it with 6 points. I don't see them slipping.
So Matchday 3B. So 3B is Wednesday. Key games for me are Chelsea Milan. This is going to be a very interesting game because right now the way the group stands, I believe. Let's take a look at the group here.
Chelsea fans don't want to look at that group.
Oh my gosh, they're at the bottom of the group.
Minus
so
one
Milan can afford not to lose.
Yes, basically a draw.
But then will Milan go for a draw or will try to win away?
Apparently, they have a lot of injuries. That's the word. So
that's right. They lost.
They lost several players. I don't know them top of mind. But even if they were to go into that match and just make life difficult for Chelsea and not really play too expansive and cause Chelsea to try and be creative and score, that'll be a long day. And if they get it, I think Milan would be happy with a draw. I think they could be happy just to prolong until they then play again on the next side and then go for the win. So
that's going to be a fascinating game.
Funny enough, I see Milan winning, right? And that's not even a dig at Chelsea. The thing is this, right? What most people don't get is Potter at Brighton. He's never had to break down a low block, right?
That's a good point.
People don't understand that most of these smaller teams, when they play good football, is because they're allowed to play good football. It's an open game. It's easier to play good football when there's space and you have Milan. They're Italian. They Italian mindset, so they know how to defend. Compact. Will be compact, and they'll be like. The thing is, Chelsea couldn't break down Dinamo or Salzburg, who are of lower quality than Milan.
That's true. That's a fact. That was under Tuchel, right?
But Potter played Salzburg, right? And it was a 1-1 draw.
That's right. You are right.
Now the thing is this: Milan, as much as they have injuries, almost all the forward-line players are fit, and they forward players are clinical. You have Leao, you have Giroud still playing. You have
Charles de Ketelaere.
So the thing is, these guys are very clinical with their chances, and they're much more effective than Chelsea's attack. They will need 2 or 3 chances to score, so they could sneak in a 1-0 win or 2-1 against Chelsea.
Yeah, that's a game that's going to be very, very interesting. It looks like Milan is on the rise again. AC Milan, like back in the day, they are back on the rise again.
Yeah.
So let's go. Don't smoke. Who think gets? I mean, Chelsea's at home. They should have the advantage, right? I mean, it's just. You think?
No, man. I think it's still a bit too early under the Potter reign for him to set to make Stamford Bridge a fortress, because this thing takes time, right?
Do you think a draw?
I think for Chelsea, they would steal a draw. They would steal a draw. They would steal a draw. because but the thing is, they need all 3 points. That's the problem because they play
Yeah.
them back to back.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going draw for this one. I'm going like 2-2. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Smoke, you're going win for Milano, or you're going win
a
for
tight
Chelsea?
win. I see a 1-0 margin win. It could be 1-0 or 2-1. Chelsea might score, so it could be 2-1. I see Chelsea scoring, and then but they will concede. The thing is, this Chelsea will concede.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Isn't it weird that Koulibaly is kind of dropped off the planet?
Yeah, it's he's nice. He was a lot nicer a couple years ago. But I also think that there's too much relied on him. Like him coming to that team, it's almost like, oh, he's our star. He's our great center back. He's supposed to step in. And I know Van Dijk isn't at that level this year, but he was supposed to step in and be that type of anchor for them. And I think he's just shown to be good, not great. And it also doesn't help when Chelsea themselves as a club don't quite hold on to the ball and make life easy for themselves. So can he become good again? I think so. But right now it seems like everything Chelsea touches just gets ruined. Like
I think it'll take time. I think it'll take time for them. I mean, what's his name? Aubameyang's in form. Is looking good. And Ty is here. Ty is, of course, fan of the show, also a member of ABL Fan Zone. I agree with you. I think that the worst is going to be a draw. I just Chelsea need this. They need this point.
They need it. They do need it bad. Yeah.
More than Milan do. Frankly, Milan can still get a draw and still get away with it because they still have to play. Two other teams who are worse, so they can still get through. But yeah, it's going. The other game, Salzburg versus Dinamo. I have no idea.
Can I just talk on Koulibaly before you move on? Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing I've noticed, right? The Serie A is slow, right? That's the honest truth, right? You have more time. You have more time on the ball to make decisions. And normally you see it when Premier League midfielders or defenders go into Serie A. Most of them, they actually prosper or they shine. Because another thing is this: having played in a league for too long, you get used to the pace, and it becomes like second nature. Even your decision making, you have much more time. Whereby Premier League, you get rushed a lot. That doesn't mean it's better quality wise. You just get put pressure. So as much as Koulibaly is a good defender, but the habits of having to take extra few milliseconds on the ball, they are still there. And they get it. So it will take a very long time for him to adjust because he's got the minerals to be a top quality defender. Right. Yeah. But just that, I think the transition will be longer due to the pace now of the game being quicker.
Speed of the game. Absolutely. The next one I want to talk about, we're going to run out of time, is this game here, Leipzig versus. This is interesting because Leipzig are at the bottom of the group. They are at the bottom of this group F, right? With Madrid and Shakhtar, I wouldn't even worry too much about that one. But this group here, Leipzig versus Celtic. Celtic need the points, but Leipzig are at home. I believe they've played it. No, that was Europa League. That was against Rangers. I see Leipzig win. I can't see anything else but Leipzig win in this game. I think they get the win. I think they fired their manager. They got a new manager now, and I think they are on a roll. They've done well in the Bundesliga. I think there's too much firepower here for them not to get something out. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, they need this win. They need it desperately. I have to say, even with them getting this win, it's going to be a long fight to still come out of the group.
Yeah.
But if they want to salvage anything, they need to come through with this win because right now it does look embarrassing for the club that they are to be bottom of this group.
Yeah. I don't know if you watched. Did any of you guys watch Shakhtar versus Celtic?
No, I didn't watch the
extended highlights.
I watched it.
Shakhtar got bamboozled by Celtic. Celtic just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Right now, the thing regarding Leipzig, one thing I've noticed is they normally play well when they're the underdogs and they're not the favorites. Right?
True.
That's when they normally play well when there's no pressure on them. So hence they always drop into the Europa League. Because in the Champions League, when you expect them to play well after a good run in the Europa League, they always fall. They're like Sevilla in the Champions League, right? So now the thing is, Celtic, I think they're just not defensively sound, but they have enough in them to score. So it's not a foregone conclusion. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an upset there where you see Celtic win.
Yeah. So you're going Celtic. I'm going to go Leipzig, and then
I'm going with a draw or Celtic, but
Yeah,
I'm
there
not
will be
mad at
goals.
that.
It's not. It's like a 2-2 kind of draw or 3-2.
Veda, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm seeing like a 2-1. I'm seeing a 2-1. I think they're very desperate for this win. And to say that it's going to be a controlled win, I don't know, but the desperate need to come through, I'm seeing a 2-1 right now. I think it'll be 1-1 for a long time, and then they get the win.
Yeah. Does anybody see anything in the Madrid Shakhtar? I mean, is that just a straight win for Madrid? Anybody see anything else? Just move
2-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Madrid will score. Shakhtar will equalize, and in the end, in the 80s, they'll score a second goal.
Benzema? Is it Benzema?
Yeah,
Yeah, he just came from missing a penalty, so he has to redeem himself.
Yeah. The City Copenhagen game. We'll talk more about that one on Patrick or Vader's show probably tomorrow. I believe one of them will do a preview show. We talk generally about the games here, the UCL games in general, but we dive deep into City specific City games on Vader or Patrick's show. But guys, are you excited about this game? What? Tell me one thing you're excited about this game about. What's one thing each of you? What are you excited about watching this game?
I hate to sound overconfident, but I'm going to be excited to see some of the non-customary players play. And not to say that they would start this match. I think Pep's still going to handle business professionally and have his key 11. But if this match is in control early, I think the subs happen early and we get a chance to see some players that don't normally get their playing time. So that's what I would be excited for. I'd hope that they blitz them, like kind of like what we did to United. Get those goals. I said girls. Get those goals early, and then
get those girls early,
and then handle business.
Don't Smoke, what about you? One thing be looking for, and we'll talk more about this in Patrick's show or in Vader's show tomorrow. But what's the one thing that
I want to see Gomez and Alvarez start. Like I think Pepe has no excuse this time. I want to see how especially Alvarez. I want to see how he plays starting the game, because we know off the bench he comes on with that intensity. I want to see how he maintains his energy once he starts, right? Because I think one of the things Pep fears is he might burn out the kid in a full game, because he wouldn't know how to manage his energy. Because if you see him always high intensity running, which is not sustainable over 90.
Yeah, but the kid, that's what he did at River Plate. That's what he did.
Yeah,
and he didn't have a problem with it. I mean, it's a fair argument. Yeah, it's a good shout. So we'll talk more about this game in detail with Patrick and Vader tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing if Elhan gets another hat trick. I want him to destroy the Premier League and Champions League. I just want him to just keep scoring hat tricks.
Yeah,
I want us to enjoy. Real fans of football, people who actually love the game, right? Like my friend Ty and other guys who actually love, who are not City fans. They enjoy the fact that you have a striker who's delivering scoring like this, because it's a spectacle. We're all watching something that we may not see again in our lifetimes. And ever so often, a guy comes along, a Zlatan or a Messi or a Ronaldo, or comes along and just does incredible things that we just like, wow.
You know what it is, and I know many people hate when you use one sport to compare another, but in the early 2000s, you had the home run record chase from McGuire and Sosa. That's Major League Baseball, and it's the home run. Everybody loves home runs, right?
Yeah.
And then even with regards to now the NBA and with the Splash Brothers, you had Steph Curry and you had Klay Thompson and the 3-pointers and that they're putting up there, and it was just a spectacle. Like, we've never seen something like this. The amount, the efficiency that they're doing it, this is crazy. And now we have Holland, and this is why I want to bring in this comparison. There's never been this many goals,
Crazy.
so efficient, so
It's
often, right?
crazy.
So the spectacle that's happening right now, I think even casuals that don't even quite pay attention to football are
crazy.
like, what is this, right? And we all shouldn't get too comfortable because this type of run is absolutely incredible, but it is absolutely wild. He's must see TV. He's
I
must see
saw a
TV.
graphic yesterday, guys.
You know,
The fewest games to
to
score, the fewest games to score 3 hat tricks, right? Erling Haaland 8, Michael Owen, the next guy, 48 games to score 3 hat tricks.
And this man
yeah,
did it in consecutive home games.
8.
you know, to add to Gundo's point, you know, I've been feeling like there will be a game where Haaland scores 5 or more, right?
Oh my
And
gosh.
this game has the setting for that. You know, if you look at this type of game, this is the setting of the type of game whereby, you know what, he just
He could, but
yeah. Hence, I'm more keen on Pep's midfield selection. Will Pep give him the tools for that kind of creativity, or he'll be like, okay, you know what, we just came from having a high intensity game on the weekend. Let's
Mm,
slow it down. So I think
yeah,
will be the biggest takeaway from the
agree.
lineup.
yeah.
Okay.
Pep has been. Sorry, one last thing, Carl. Pep has been honing in Holland, though. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like he's kept him from just doing too much. And I think it's kept him hungry. So when Holland's been subbed off after 2 goals and he's feeding and wanting more, I think Pep's been using that energy the right way, and then he comes onto the pitch and he's just an attacker. So 5 goals would be absolutely amazing on, I know these aren't legs, but for this first matchup against them, that's going to be a scary thing. They're going to have nightmares to see him
I mean,
to have to
Dortmund put
face
3
them the next
past them,
time.
right? Dortmund put 3 past them in their game. It was just ridiculous.
That's true. That's true.
This is in Sevilla, drew 2-2. Anyway, we'll talk more about that tomorrow on Patrick's show, True City Fan, and then also Vito will probably talk about it as well. Will join us. Either which way, we all work with each other.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
next one here, this game here is this leg, Sevilla, Dortmund, Sevilla, is going to be critical, right? Because this is second place, in my opinion. Could be second place.
Yeah.
Right? Dortmund.
Yeah, because if Sevilla wins, they'll go ahead. They'll go ahead of Dortmund because
believe
Sevilla
so. Let me
has
see
1
the
point, I
table.
believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So, this is. Oh yeah, there's a lot riding on this match.
It's massive. Look at that, 3-1. So they win, they jump.
Yeah. And initially, when the group was first called out, and I didn't know any better based off of what I saw initially, I thought Sevilla was going to be the one to really be second within this grouping. But Dortmund has looked impressive. Even our win against them, it did take us late, and it's because of how familiar they are with defending against Holland. But yeah, Sevilla need to win this. They need to win this if they're going to have any hope.
I think Dortmund go through though. Don't smoke. I think kill it.
Not to be shameless, but I want Sevilla to drop down to the Europa League so they can win it and prevent United or Arsenal from winning it. Because I know they know how to win the Europa League.
Don't smoke with the smoke. I like that. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, but I think Dortmund probably, who knows, but Dortmund would probably go over. Again, this is why we would have loved UEFA to allow these games to be played after each other so we can watch and enjoy it, relax with a cup of tea or coffee, but it is what it is. But Group H, and run out of time, Group H, this game here, I keep telling people to watch out for this game. Benfica, Paris.
Yeah.
This game will not be easy. Benfica, Paris will not be easy. I keep telling people keep blowing, and they could be right. That's fine. But I think that game is not going to be easy. Look at both on 6 points. Both have played well. Benfica but Juve, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy. That's a game that is going to be difficult because Benfica are a decent side. What do you guys think?
I agree with you. Sorry, go ahead, Don Small.
One thing which I always give props to Porto or Benfica, these guys always pull up gems from nowhere, right? They'll just sneak in some young attacking midfielder or striker. That's unheard of. And Look like a Nunes, Goncalves. I think didn't they buy that Enzo kid from River Plate? They got that midfielder that I think young DM or whatnot. And they pull up these gems, and these kids have blinders of a season. So it's never a foregone conclusion with either of these teams. And we saw it even against Porto against Liverpool. These guys normally they'll give you a game, and it's that thing of whereby with a front line of Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi, at times they too casual based on the opponent, and you can never write a draw or late upset in that game. So you are totally spot on.
Okay, well, Michael, welcome. We're running out of time because we have to all run. It's been an hour. I wanted to keep this to an hour. I think we have meetings all coming up. But Juve, I'm going to give Juve that win because if they can't beat Maccabi Haifa from Israel, they have no business being in the Champions League. So we'll see. But tomorrow, I believe Vader or Patrick will be having a show. We're going to deep dive on the UCL for City itself. And then we may actually do a review of the games of the Champions League Matchday 3A, which is Tuesday matches, to see how everybody did based on our predictions. Mikey, any last words from you before we run up?
Oh, I'm late. I saw one.
You're late, man. We're running. Yeah.
Oh, it's 1 your time. Oh.
Oh, yeah. My time, Eastern.
Yeah, I totally mixed up. Oh, my bad. So, y'all did the prediction?
Yeah, we did. But again, join us tomorrow on either Vader or Patrick's show. We'll talk more about City itself and review the games that we did on Tuesday, okay? Till then, everybody take care. God bless. And, up the Blues. Hopefully, this year, we win the UEFA Champions League. I'm excited about that.
Oh, I'm sorry for who we're playing Wednesday. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
In Copenhagen. All right. Take care, guys. See you.
All right.
Cheers, man.
Great show.